What is up, guys? Hakka is here with another amazing Destiny idea to share with you guys today. Now, this one is actually from the channel's resident artist, Benjamin Radiman, who is the same person who makes all of the exotic weapon concepts for the fan-made exotic series running on this channel. Now, he has come up with exotic ghost shells, specifically exotic foundry ghost shells. Now, this is actually a really cool idea, would really spice up Destiny and add kind of a new dynamic and add more of a foundry focus. Right now, foundries were introduced with the Taken King expansion, and they haven't really been expanded. It does look like these same three foundries with Haka, Suros, and Omelan are returning with the Rise of Iron. They're getting more weapons that belong to those three foundries, so it's a great chance to improve on the idea of foundries, and that's what this exotic ghost shell idea certainly does. So let's go over it. Now, these three exotic ghost shells will let you pledge your allegiance and show your support for a certain foundry, very similar to what the exotic class armor items that are currently in the game already do. Now, the first one we're going over is the Haka foundry ghost shell, the soldier shell. Now, this ghost shell is going to have a bonus to strength, intellect, or discipline, just like the other shells currently in the game, but then it's going to have two unique passive perks. The first one is the life exotic. This functions exactly the same as the passive perk for the exotic class armor items, where that it lets you use this exotic as an additional exotic to your arsenal. So using an exotic ghost shell won't take away from the other exotics you can use, so don't think you're going to have to give up your rune wings, for example, in order to use this exotic ghost shell. Now, the next passive perk is really where this shell becomes interesting. It is the exotic passive perk, Haka Pride. Upgrade all Haka weapons faster with this perk unlocked and equipped. Hold more ammo for all Haka weapons, and gain the perk performance bonus on all weapons. Now, performance bonus is the perk where kills with a weapon will grant bonus reserve ammo. Now, first things first, I absolutely love the idea of being able to upgrade Haka weapons faster and hold more ammo for Haka weapons. That really lets you showcase what foundry you want to support, what foundry is your favorite. If you love Haka weapons and you'll go out of your way to use a Haka shotgun because you think it looks cooler, this is going to be the perfect thing for you. You're going to be able to upgrade your weapons faster if they're Haka weapons, and you're actually going to get a noticeable and consistent bonus, which is that you're going to get more ammo for all Haka weapons. Definitely quite useful. Now, gaining the perk performance bonus for all weapons, that is definitely an interesting idea. I'm not 100% sold on it. I think it might be a little bit much in terms of giving a player an advantage who has this ghost shell as opposed to a player who doesn't, so I'm not sure about that. But performance bonus is definitely not a super oppressive perk. It's kind of a pretty average, pretty lackluster perk that you're actually not really looking for all the time on most weapons. So if it is in the game, and if it is introduced with this bonus, giving a free perk, giving a perk like performance bonus certainly isn't going to completely unbalance the game, so I don't think it would be that bad if implemented. But the real reason why I'm so interested in this idea and why I love it is the bonuses that are centered towards a certain foundry. Right now, the three foundries are kind of just in the game and they're pretty bland. There's really no reason to support one over the other than just pure random personal preference. But this is actually going to give you a reason to pick a favorite foundry to show your support, and that's why I love this idea. And lastly, the Haka foundry shell will have a selection of focuses, for example, primary weapon focus or armor focus, again similar to the other shells that are currently in the game. Now, with that explanation of the Haka ghost shell, we're then going to move on to the Omelan and Suros foundry ghost shells. We're going to go over them a little bit quicker because they are designed in the same fashion, so we don't need to explain things as much. So moving on, we have the Omelan foundry ghost shell, the scientist shell. It again has the passive perk, the Life Exotic, allowing you to utilize an extra exotic in your arsenal, and then it has the exotic perk, Omelan Pride. Upgrade all Omelon weapons faster, hold more ammo for Omelon weapons, and gain the perk Eye of the Storm on all weapons. Remember, Eye of the Storm is the perk that increases your weapon's accuracy as your health gets lower. It's again one of those perks that really isn't utilized too much and therefore wouldn't be super oppressive to grant that to all weapons. And lastly, this shell will have a selection of focuses like special weapon focus or armor focus that you have to choose between. And lastly, we are going over the Suros Foundry shell, the Dragon Dancer shell. It again has one of the bonuses of Strength, Intellect, or Discipline. It has the passive perk, the Life Exotic, like the other two, and this time the exotic passive perk is Suros Pride. Upgrade all Suros weapons faster, gonna be very useful for when you finally get that God Roll PDX. Hold more ammo for Suros weapons, and gain the perk Hot Swap on all weapons. And Hot Swap is a perk that when you switch to a weapon, you gain bonus accuracy. Hot Swap is actually pretty good for fusion rifles, but again, it's one of those perks that really isn't utilized too much. There's other perks that are considered just better. And lastly, you have another focus that you have to choose between. So those are the 3 exotic Foundry Ghost shells. What do you guys think? Do you think the bonuses they offer are fair, not enough, or too much? I for one think that the overall idea, not these necessarily specifically word for word, but the idea of exotic Foundry Ghost shells are a fantastic one. We already have exotic class armors where you can improve your allegiance towards a certain faction. Why not do that kind of same thing, that same theme, but towards a certain foundry? I actually do like and prefer Haka weapons. I just like how they look. Let me show my pride towards Haka, because right now there really is none, and there's no way to show you really support Haka over another foundry. And the idea of actually upgrading a specific foundry of weapon faster is so useful. If I finally get a God Roll Hung Jury, for example, I can upgrade that faster by using the Omelon shell. It would be very useful for players who like to play Destiny a lot, are getting a lot of weapons, and looking for those God Rolls. Now before we go, I'm actually going to go over a bonus exotic shell. Benjamin Radman actually designed this one before he designed the faction specific ones, and it is called the Firebreak shell. Now this exotic shell doesn't have an allegiance to a certain foundry, it's just another exotic ghost shell. Now this is also going to have, again, the Life Exotic passive perk allowing you to utilize it, but its unique passive perk is going to be Firebreak. When reloading a weapon, send out a pulse of area of effect fire that does a little bit of damage. Only works with an empty magazine reload. So that's actually pretty cool. It wouldn't be crazy oppressive, but it's just another ability, another unique ability that adds an interesting piece of loot that you want to go after. You're actually going to be able to damage some enemies if you have to reload on an empty magazine. That could maybe, you know, kill a weak enemy who's trying to melee you to death in PvP. Save your life against a thrall. I'm not sure, but it's definitely an interesting ability, and it makes me think of all the other possibilities that could be added with exotic ghost shells, or even just improved ghost shells in general. They don't have to be exotic to have unique and cool ideas introduced into the game. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did and want this idea to come into fruition, make sure to simply like and especially share this video. If you want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day. Now, I got to play Titanfall 2 recently at EA Play. I was invited out to LA to attend a special Titanfall 2 event where myself and a few other YouTubers were able to play the game for a decent amount of time early. We were also given some exclusive Titanfall 2 multiplayer gameplay, which you can see playing in the background during this video. A lot of it was from the trailer, but there's actually quite a bit of it kind of extended beyond what was in the trailer, and actually featuring some new weapons that weren't seen in the official multiplayer trailer, so that's definitely pretty cool for Titanfall fans. Now let's get started by discussing what new features were added in the Titanfall 2 multiplayer.